Hello, gentlemen. A lie has speed, but truth has endurance. In a world where deception often goes unnoticed, the Sigma male is the one who always catches it. He doesn't confront lies with explosive reactions, but with a quiet, methodical strategy that's as unsettling as it is brilliant. Most people think they can get away with a well-told lie, but when you try that on a Sigma, you've already lost, and you don't even know it yet. Here's a fact. Studies show that the average person lies multiple times a day. But what happens when you lie to someone who operates on a completely different wavelength? The Sigma male isn't your average person. His calm, almost distant nature isn't a sign of ignorance. It's a sign that he's already 10 steps ahead. In this game of deception, he doesn't play by the same rules as everyone else. And when he knows he's being lied to, the way he handles it is nothing short of a psychological masterpiece. So, what exactly happens when a Sigma male catches wind of a lie? Prepare yourself, because it's not the confrontation you'd expect. It's much more calculated, much more dangerous, and far more final. Number 1, they will pretend to be oblivious. When a Sigma male knows he's being lied to, his first move is pure genius. He pretends not to notice. You'd think he's oblivious, maybe even a little clueless, but that's exactly what he wants you to believe. It's like watching someone walk into quicksand while they think they're casually strolling on solid ground. The liar is convinced they're getting away with it, and the Sigma just nods along, playing the part of the fool. What's so clever about this is that it buys him time. He lets the liar dig themselves deeper, gives them more room to trip over their own words, and all the while, he's calmly gathering every detail. It's the ultimate act of patience. He's like a cat watching a mouse scurry around, waiting for the perfect moment to pounce. And the funniest part? The liar has no idea they've already lost. They're walking around thinking they've just pulled off the perfect con, while the Sigma is 5 steps ahead, smirking internally, letting them believe the lie is working. By pretending to be oblivious, he disarms the liar completely. They let their guard down, become overconfident, and that's when the Sigma starts quietly weaving his plan. The whole thing is almost too easy for him. It's like watching a chess grandmaster casually sip tea while his opponent sweats over every move, thinking they're winning. Little do they know the game was over the moment they made their first false move. The Sigma just let them play along for fun. At number 2, strategic questioning. When a Sigma male suspects a lie, he doesn't come at it head-on. Instead, he asks questions, carefully, strategically. It's not about directly accusing someone or making them defensive. He'll weave his questions into casual conversation, almost like he's curious or just making small talk. But each question has a purpose. He's looking for gaps, inconsistencies, anything that doesn't quite add up. The brilliance of his approach is that the person lying doesn't even realize they're being cornered. They answer, thinking everything is fine, but with each response, they're adding more fuel to the fire. Sigma males are masters of detail. They don't miss much, so when the story shifts even slightly, they catch it. The liar, on the other hand, becomes more tangled in their own web, unaware that every answer is exposing them more. What makes this so effective is that the Sigma isn't aggressive or confrontational. He stays calm, keeps things light, and lets the person feel comfortable enough to keep talking. But in reality, with each question, he's tightening the noose. By the end of it, the Sigma has everything he needs, without ever tipping his hand. Number 3, they become the silent observer. When a Sigma male knows he's being lied to, he shifts gears and becomes the ultimate silent observer. Suddenly, it's not about what's being said anymore. It's about what's not being said. He watches, listens, and notices every little thing, from the way someone avoids eye contact to the subtle fidgeting that gives away their nervousness. It's almost unnerving how still and focused he can become, like a predator in stealth mode, tracking every movement without ever giving away his own position. He doesn't interrupt or react. No, that would give too much away. Instead, he lets the liar dig their own hole while he quietly gathers all the evidence he needs. The person lying might even start to feel comfortable, thinking they've pulled it off. But the Sigma male's silence is where the real power lies. The quieter he gets, the more dangerous the situation becomes. He's not zoning out. He's taking mental notes, reading between the lines, and stacking up clues. The funny thing is, the liar usually thinks they're getting away with it. They assume his silence means he's buying the story. But in reality, he's like a human lie detector in stealth mode. By the time they realize something's off, he's already pieced everything together, leaving them completely exposed without ever having to say a word. It's almost scary how good he is at this. At number 4, using silence as a psychological weapon. When a Sigma male knows he's being lied to, silence becomes his most powerful tool. He understands that words can often mask the truth, but silence is where the real pressure builds. It's not just any silence, though. It's intentional. He doesn't rush to fill the gaps or push for explanations. Instead, he lets the quiet stretch out, long and uncomfortable. The longer it lingers, the more the weight of the lie starts to show. This kind of silence isn't passive. It's a psychological weapon. It forces the liar to confront their own deception, often making them uneasy. They start second-guessing themselves, wondering what he's thinking, if he's figured it out. The tension grows with every second, as the Sigma male calmly holds the space, allowing the liar to feel the full impact of their dishonesty. It's not about being confrontational. It's about letting the truth surface on its own, simply by removing the noise and creating a space where the liar's thoughts start to unravel. In this silence, the liar is left with nothing to cling to. There are no interruptions or distractions, just the heavy realization that they're standing on shaky ground. And the Sigma male? He's fully aware of how powerful this is. Without saying a word, he turns the situation in his favor, letting the lie slowly break under its own weight. Number 5. Setting psychological traps. When a Sigma male knows he's being lied to, he doesn't confront it head-on. Instead, he sets psychological traps, subtle and almost invisible, but designed to expose the truth. He knows that if you push someone directly, they'll only dig in deeper. So he creates situations where the liar ends up contradicting themselves without even realizing it. These traps aren't obvious. They could be as simple as asking a question in a different way or bringing up the lie at a different time when the liar isn't expecting it. What makes these traps so effective is that the Sigma male remains calm and composed throughout. He never shows his hand. The liar, thinking they're in the clear, continues their story, unaware that they're stepping into the trap. Each contradiction, no matter how small, adds up. And because the Sigma male has already studied the lie, he knows exactly where the cracks are. It's a slow, deliberate process, and the liar doesn't even notice they're being pulled into a corner until there's no way out. By the time they start to realize what's happening, it's too late. The contradictions pile up, and the lie unravels on its own. The Sigma male doesn't need to accuse or argue. He simply watches as the truth reveals itself, step by step, through the traps he's set. It's not a game of force, it's a game of patience and precision. And in this game, the Sigma always wins. Number 6. Calculated confrontation. When a Sigma male finally decides to confront a lie, it's not impulsive or emotional. Every move he makes is calculated, deliberate, and controlled. By this point, he's already gathered all the information he needs. So when he confronts the liar, it's not about fishing for the truth, it's about exposing it. He doesn't raise his voice or engage in drama. Instead, he calmly presents the facts, often in a way that leaves little room for escape. The confrontation is sharp and precise. He asks the right questions, shows the contradictions, and lays everything out clearly. The liar is left with nowhere to turn. What makes this confrontation so effective is that the Sigma male isn't seeking validation or an apology. He's not looking for the liar to explain themselves. He already knows the truth. His goal is to make the liar fully aware that their deception didn't go unnoticed and to leave no doubt that the game is over. There's no back and forth or emotional outburst. He's simply letting the other person see in cold clarity how their lie has unraveled. And because the Sigma male isn't invested in the drama or the outcome, he remains calm and composed, even as the person on the other end feels the full weight of being exposed. It's not about confrontation for its own sake, it's about clarity, and once it's achieved, The sigma is already mentally moving on. Number 7, the aftermath, the ghosting effect. After the confrontation, the sigma male's next move is simple. He disappears. Once the truth has been laid bare, he doesn't stick around for explanations, excuses, or apologies. He quietly removes himself from the situation, leaving the liar to deal with the aftermath on their own. This isn't about punishing the person. It's about self-preservation. For a sigma, trust is a foundation, and once it's broken, there's no point in rebuilding it. The ghosting effect that follows isn't dramatic. He doesn't make a show of cutting ties. One day, the liar simply realizes they're no longer part of the sigma's life. Messages go unanswered, interactions grow distant, and eventually they're left with nothing but silence. This isn't done out of anger or spite. It's just the sigma's way of moving forward. He values his peace of mind, and once a line has been crossed, there's no need for further engagement. In the end, it's not the confrontation that stings the most. It's the quiet absence that follows. The liar is left to reflect, knowing they've lost access to someone who valued honesty above all. And by the time they realize the full impact of their actions, the sigma has already moved on, leaving nothing but the lingering silence in his wake. In the end, when a sigma male knows he's being lied to, it's not about revenge or proving a point. It's about clarity and protecting his own peace. He navigates deception with a calm, calculated precision, never letting emotion cloud his judgment. From pretending to be oblivious to quietly fading away, every step he takes is deliberate. By the time the liar realizes what's happened, it's already too late. The sigma male doesn't just uncover the lie, he dismantles it completely, leaving nothing but the truth in its place. And when the dust settles, he's long gone, having left the lie and the person who told it far behind. If you found this exploration into the mind of the sigma male captivating and insightful, consider subscribing to our channel. Join us as we delve deeper into the nuances of human behavior, relationships, and the extraordinary traits that set individuals apart. Your support means the world to us, and it helps create a community where we can continue sharing intriguing insights and stories that resonate. Don't miss out. Hit that subscribe button and be part of our journey.